Good afternoon. What's going on? We're gonna get right to this because I gotta work on my other video I'm gonna be releasing in a few days. So let's do a couple of sections, then we'll carry on from there. All right, let's just go over what I got and we'll go from there. Give me 1 second. Okay, it's fine. Okay, yesterday we did section 4 was hopelessness. Section 5 is mental repercussions and internal companions. That's to be a big one. I think spaces that turn against you. Okay, that's fine. The weight of silence, memory and distorted perception. Let's talk about loneliness. We haven't even talked about that yet. But yes, like I said, I'm working on my other video. The audio's done. I just gotta go over it, so I'm kind of prioritizing that right now. So let's do 3 sections, 2 to 3 sections, then we'll wrap things up tonight. This will be the next one, but this one's gonna be released probably like the next month or so. So section 6. Let's see, section 6. I definitely do want it to be loneliness. Was there anything else I can add to that? We'll just have it as just loneliness for now. Or just loneliness and isolation, I guess. Yeah, I cannot spell. Okay. And location. Loneliness and location. Okay. Spaces remember us. Spaces remember us. Homes. 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 Schools. Hospitals, etc. I'm just throwing out common horror game locations for this one. Places built for people. Places built for people. And should be a trustworthy, safe place. Okay, man. Okay. Spaces remember us. Homes, schools, hospitals, etc. Places built for people and should be trustworthy safe havens. When that trust disappears, I guess we're just listening to Resident Evil 3 music today, which I'm fine with. When that place disappears, the design starts to feel wrong. Don't drink unless you're an adult. I gotta keep on repeating that. Spaces remember us, homes, schools, hospitals, etc. Places built for people and should be trustworthy safe havens. When that trust disappears, the design of the architecture starts to feel wrong. Horror understands this and exploits it. Or understands. What's this? Okay, horror understands and exploits this. Need to give an example. For example, oh my god, I cannot spell tonight. Horror understands this and exploits this. For example, the emptiness of the room can add a greater sense of isolation. And like I said, I really can't be working on this that long because I gotta finish up the other video that I'm working on. We're actually going over the audio, so I recorded it earlier. It's 40 minutes raw, but I'm looking at least a 35-minute video for that one. What else can I add to this? What about we talk about how the decay of certain buildings, well, certain like areas, kind of feels isolation. It's all in the mind as usual. Okay, um, we got to be specific here. I cannot spell right now. No, Spencer Mansion's weird because Spencer Mansion compared to URC is in a better state because URC was pretty much abandoned. Okay. Ooh, the jump off. Let's go. So areas. Well, this can be used for Silent Hill as well, but I guess I was just thinking about Resident Evil because I'm listening to Resident Evil right now. Door that won't open. Door that won't open. What else in URC? Fuck. Oh, the fuck. The the hunter fighting the cages after the Rebecca saving sequence. You get all this ammunition. No, you get the you get into the armor area. You see all these guns that aren't like usable because they're broken. It's like, bruh, I would gladly take this AR any day. Original, do they won't open. Oh, the bridge. So our survival. Okay. All right. So that's I think that's good. All right. So we talked about loneliness and location. So later on, when we actually do the narrative, we'll go to extreme detail about this. All right. So let's go over this one more time. What do we got? I'm not gonna always do like scroll up. Spaces that turn against you, that's fine. The weight of silence, memory and distorted perception, helplessness, mental repercussions in that inner voice that somehow someone gets created. Loneliness and location. Okay, that's good. Time is it. Okay. I can add something else to this. I want to do another auditory section. No, I don't think. No, I think that's fine. We don't need to do another one. We can just expand on that later. Also, shout out to Leon's Resident Evil 4 jacket. This is an aviator jacket. It's literally the one that Leon wears. But this thing is very comfy. And it's keeping me warm because it's cold in here right now. Shout out to Airborne. Okay, loneliness and location. We just did that. I think we could. Let's. Because we've talked about that, the mental aspect of it. Let's try to do something psychological. I talk about psychology a lot in these videos. Section 7. Yeah, today's just Resident Evil 3. I'm fine with that. Section 7. The self. In isolation. Okay. Self in isolation. 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 Isolation affects the mind more ways than one. Internal conflict, for starters. Internal conflict is one of the bigger ones. Internal conflict. Internal conflict. Hallucinations. Hallucinations. Guilt. I guess in some extreme cases, your mind can get fragmented. Actually, like any Silent Hill character. I'm looking at you, Alex. Especially you, Alex. No, we'll do external conflict as his own little thing. I think we're at the 20-minute mark. Let's do like another few minutes. Because again, I gotta go get dinner and I gotta continue working on that other video. I'm at least looking for, what's today, the 12th? I'm looking for the 18th for release on that one. Because again, it's about 30 something minutes long. It's gonna be at least 35 minutes, probably. I probably not gonna do a horror movie tie-in with that just because of copyright, and it's actually hard to get footage from horror movies nowadays. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm looking for the 18th release on that one. After that, this will probably be in narrative writing phase in the next few days, probably. Because I'm pushing for at least 15 sections. We'll be doing a mythological tie-in. I just haven't figured out which mythological tie-in. We're gonna find a Greek one, because it's always a Greek one. Shinto, definitely. And we'll probably go to Egyptian again, but we'll see when we get there. Like that's usually towards the end of the videos. Okay, so isolation affects the mind in more ways than you. Wow. We'll ignore that. Okay. Horror exploits this. By blurring the line between external and internal threats. There we go. There's a tie-in. For example, ooh, hey, look, I was just talking about this place in the other video that I'm doing, the RPD. There's an intercom above me. Give me a second. All right, false alarm. Ah, noise complaints. Interesting. Okay, sorry about that. Horror exploits this by blurring the line between external and internal threats. Shit. I have an example. Damn it, I have an example. James in fucking Pyramid Head. There we go again. I guess. The monster on the outside and the monster on the inside. Yeah. The monster on the outside. I'll put that in quotations because it doesn't even have to be like a monster. That's what I just thought about at that 1 second. Monster on the outside and on the inside. So, your mistakes, your fears, or even suppressed desires. James, or even suppressed desire. James is going to be probably talked about a lot here. To the point I should probably switch over to my James Sutherland jacket. No, it's fine. This is comfy right now. Or even suppressed desires. Okay. The longer isolation persists, the longer isolation goes on, the more the platter, the player begins questioning their own reactions. Save. For example, reactions. For example, for these outlets, I'm not really too worried about grammatical like errors, but OCD does kick in at times. For example, seeing shadows, hearing whispers, more so fade or frame, and reflections. No, and ocular distortions. Oh my god. Distortions can be a conduit for self-doubt. This goes into perception again. Perception becomes the enemy. Okay. Oh, Chrissy's old eyes of mine. Okay, let's see what we have tonight. So we did 2 sections. I think that's good. Again, I do apologize, but I actually got to get working on that other video because I'm trying to get that released soon because I don't know whether or not I'm still getting deployed. So I'd rather get at least a video out before this 9-month deployment. I'll still be able to do YouTube stuff. I just won't be able to do these streams for obvious reasons. So videos will come out when they come out. So loneliness and location. Space remembers us. Yikes. Homes, schools, hospitals, etc. Places built for people and should be trustworthy safe havens. When that trust disappears, the design of the architecture starts to feel wrong. Horror understands and exploits this. For example, the emptiness of a room can add a greater sense of isolation. I have to be specific here for later, so let's try and use how the state of a building can add to the sense of isolation. So think URC. So URC is the Umbrella Research Center in Resident Evil 0. Long since abandoned and in a state of decay. So areas that should normally function don't. For example, a door that won't open or the bridge that is destroyed, which would have been an escape route. funny now that I think about it, because Resident Evil Zero, again, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not downplaying Resident Evil Zero at all. It's just there's a lot of things in Resident Evil Zero that make no sense, like plot elevator that somehow some way connects URC with the whole entirety of Resident Evil Zero, including the train wreckage, to the cable car that goes into Raccoon City and the marshalling yard. Yeah, right. Okay, sure. So just going off that specific architecture, it's like the bridge is destroyed. That would have been an escape route, but there would have to be another way just to leave there, because you're in a forest. Like, just because one pathway is blocked off doesn't mean the other area is blocked off unless we're on a cliff, which I can't remember. It's been years. Not years. It's been a few months since I played Resident Evil Zero. Besides the footage for the last video, but yeah, just that's just me just yapping. Don't mind me. Okay. Section 7, self and isolation. Isolation affects the mind in more ways than one. Internal conflict, hallucinations, guilt. I guess in some extreme cases, your mind can get fragmented. James or Alex in Silent Hill Homecoming. Horror exploits this by blurring the line between external and internal threats. The monster on the outside and on the inside. Your mistakes, your fears, even your suppressed desires. The longer isolation goes on, the more the player begins questioning their own reactions. For example, shadows, hearing whispers, and ocular distortions can be a conduit for self-doubt. Perception becomes the enemy because perception is being talked about a lot here, but you guys get the hints, whoever watches these VODs. So, alright, so like I mentioned, unfortunately I do gotta go work on that other video because I need to get that released soon. So we did 2 sections. Tomorrow we'll do a little bit more, and we'll go from there. This is making good, steady progress. We're gonna do at least 16 sections, a couple mythological tie-ins, then the case studies. And like I mentioned before, this is gonna be a relatively long video because case study 1 is gonna be both Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 4 Remake. Then Silent Hill F is the second case study. Then Security Breach Ruined, not vanilla Security Breach, not vanilla Security Breach, the ruined one, the DLC. That will be case study 3. So this is gonna be a relatively long video. I'm pushing for at least an hour on this one. So, okay. Anyways, have a good one. I'll see people tomorrow. Take care. We'll